Good day, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see today, I'm going to check in with YouTube's biggest scam artist. Meet Kevin Pathrath. The scam artist, liar, con man, investment disaster. This guy's a complete fraud. And I could talk days on end on this guy, and I don't even follow the guy. I haven't even spent much time looking at him. His story is so obvious. It's obvious. Falls into the boilerplate, typical con man mold. It's pretty obvious. You can detect what these guys are going to do. Now, before I begin, and I don't know how long this is going to be, but I'm going to go over a few things with this guy. And I should be covering this guy every day because this guy's dangerous. He's a danger to people. He's a danger to all of these naive people on YouTube. And the YouTube audience, I'll just go ahead and repeat over and over again. I keep telling people, if you're a YouTube audience, you need to kind of get away from the enemy, the devil. That's YouTube, because you're probably low IQ, poor educational attainment, and or you're naive, and you're easily suckered. You're easily fooled, because YouTube has turned into the world's largest platform for scams and scam artists. All these YouTubers are scammers. Write it down. Write it down. Those who are not scam artists right now are waiting to build a following. But they're all going on YouTube for one reason: to scam people, to sell their shit, because they know YouTube is a collection of the world's most naive, dumbest audience. Ty Lopez proved that some 12, 13, 14 years ago. Ever since then, the scammers have realized this is where you can make a lot of money scamming people. And of course, today, you've got some of the world's biggest older scam artists. I mean, Meet Kevin is the new generation of scam artists. But you got the older guys who, by the way, Meet Kevin idolizes. Robert Kiyosaki. He's all over YouTube. I mean, okay? Take a look who these people hang out with, folks. That's the key. If you understand how to spot a fraudster, a con man, a scammer, right? If you understand how to spot them, if you know who they are, all you got to do is take a look who they hang out with, and you're going to spot the whole crew. You're going to spot the entire circle jerk. And speaking of circle jerks, of course, YouTube's got all kinds of circle jerks where these guys, they kind of protect each other. I'll talk about that some other time. I've talked about it before. And Kevin is in at least a few of these circle jerks, by the way. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. The circle jerk is this investment kind of investment theme. These investment guys, of course, you all might know Kevin was involved with directly with Graham Stephan, another con artist, scammer, complete fraudster, who had this. They had this Millennial Money channel, and that was where Graham Stephan and Meet Kevin and this Jeremy Lefebvre, I don't know how you say his name, another scam artist, loser, con man, liar. Folks, they're all scammers, liars, con men. All these financial investment guys on YouTube. And none of them have any experience or credentials. Meet Kevin recently got a state license. And anybody can get a state license, investment advisor license. Any of you idiots out there can get one. It's simple. You pass a very simple, stupid exam that has basically state laws. It's an exam testing you on state laws. That's all it is. It doesn't qualify you for shit. It qualifies you legally to charge for financial advice, but it doesn't make you credible. Okay? It only makes you legally able to charge. You see? But it doesn't make you credible. I'm no longer licensed. Right? I'm no longer licensed. I can't legally provide personalized financial advice. However, I'm very credible and I'm very capable of doing so. With a near 3-decade experience in the professional investment world, having started off, and I'll go ahead now and tell everybody about me if you don't know who I am, because it's very important. I don't like talking about myself, but it's very important for people to know who they're listening to, okay? Especially most of you out there, you're fooled by the mild-mannered, happy guy and speaking nicely. Well, I trust him. He's a nice guy. As opposed to me, who doesn't pull any punches. I'm honest. I'm not here to try and convince you so I don't speak nicely and kiss your ass and smile and all pleasant. Hello, everyone. I hope you have a great day. You're awesome. I don't do that. That's what con men do. I'm here to deliver the truth, right? And I don't need to use superficial nonsense to convince people of anything. I'm a world expert, and I'm going to tell you now a little bit about me, okay, a little bit about myself, so that you know, because everyone's assessment, everyone's insight, opinion, analysis is not the same. It's not equal. Sorry, but what you've been told, you snowflakes, we don't live in an egalitarian world. Everyone's not equal. Everyone's opinion, everyone's analysis is not the same. If you're not on the same level as someone, you should sit down and shut your mouth and take notes and learn from them. Better yourself, learning from people who know much more than you, much more experienced, much wiser. That's what I did when I was younger. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. So you know, when you listen to what I have to say, I'm very credible. Now, I'm going to tell you some things you're probably not going to believe. It's up to you to do the due diligence, the research. And if you're not able to comprehend the research, I suggest you go to someone who is qualified, a qualified professional to do so. Okay? But I think it's quite simple. Number one, I'm one of the top investment analysts in the world. My name is Mike Stathis. I started my career on Wall Street at UBS, Union Bank of Switzerland. Now, previously it was Payne Weber, which was bought by UBS. And then Bear Stearns. My background, my educational background, I have a master's in science in biological chemistry, biophysics from a chemistry department. I have a slew of coursework I have taken. I'm actually an expert in the biosciences, although I don't promote that. I don't have any formal training in business, finance, or economics, which is probably why I've been so successful. I've learned it all, the important stuff on my own. I haven't been brainwashed and spoon-fed. I learned many things that I know on my own while working for Wall Street's two major firms, UBS and Bear Stearns. After that, and I'm not going to get into the reasons, but I decided to depart from that industry. I worked in venture capital, and I started my own research firm. Now, when I was working on Wall Street and thereafter, I very quickly was able to bring in, on my own, with my own merit, large clients. Throughout my career, from the early days all through current, I have advised multi-billion-dollar hedge funds, multi-billion-dollar mutual funds, multi-billion-dollar endowments, and multi-billion-dollar pension plans. I have also advised Fortune 100 corporate treasury departments. Okay. Most importantly, though, is my track record as a research analyst, as an investment strategist. I predicted the financial crisis of 2008. I didn't just come out and flap my mouth a month before everything collapsed. I wrote 2 books approximately a year and a half before the financial crisis struck. And I detailed what would happen. I advised people to short the subprime banks, or subprime mortgage companies or mortgage stocks. Now, you'll note that you hear, most of you probably don't know about the financial crisis. Your only knowledge is maybe you read some books written by Michael Lewis, who's a clueless clown, and he's an establishment puppet and tool, or some movies. Folks, it's all fiction. It's Hollywood. You're talking Hollywood, okay? But these guys, and I worked with one of the guys, actually, who shorted the subprimes. I worked at Bear Stearns with one of the guys, Kyle Bass. They just shorted the subprimes. They didn't predict the financial crisis. I've talked about this ad nauseum. They made a bet. They didn't tell anybody about their bet. And once the bet panned out, they told everybody to make it look like they're superstars, right? First of all. Second of all, where did they get their information to short the subprimes? Maybe they read my books. You understand? Third of all, that's all they did. And since then, they have done nothing. one-hit wonders. The real guy who predicted everything was me. Not only did I enable those of you who read my books, which were banned, they were banned by the establishment. Ask yourself why. There was really no political incorrectness. I just exposed the whole system. Back in 2006 in America's Financial Apocalypse, the original extended version, I wrote in detail. I focused on the trade issue, a national security threat. That is to say, U.S.-China trade was a national security threat to the U.S. I wrote about all this stuff. Exposed Wall Street. I exposed many things. Then, of course, I exposed the real estate bubble, the largest real estate bubble in world history. It was poised to collapse. I discussed the MBS, the mortgage-backed securities market, the asset-backed securities market. I explained how all the mortgages were securitized. I explained how the credit rating agencies were rubber stamping these junk bonds into AAA investment grade securities. I explained all this stuff. And I also talked about Fannie and Freddie. I predicted Fannie and Freddie, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, otherwise known as the GSCs, government-sponsored enterprises. I predicted they would collapse and file for bankruptcy, which is exactly what happened. Nobody in the world made that prediction. Some may have mentioned it like a month before the financial crisis. Folks, I wrote about this in 2006. And I even recommended people to short these securities, these stocks, these mortgage stocks, the GSEs, Fannie, Freddie, the subprimes, in my 2007 book, Cashing In on the Real Estate Bubble. Now, the real estate chapters of each of these books are listed online on archive.org. You can find them. See for yourself. There's so much more in those books that I wrote, especially America's Financial Apocalypse. I also talked about in America's Financial Apocalypse when this market was going to get hit. Talked about the Dow possibly reaching a low of 6,500 in my book. In chapter, I believe, 17 in the extended version. Guess what, folks? March 10th, 2009, that's where the Dow ended up bottoming. And I actually wrote a few articles in 2008 and even one March 10th, 2009, talking about this 6,500 before it happened and on the day and telling people to buy. I nailed the bottom. That's right. Okay. I have the most accurate, the most comprehensive track record on the 2008 financial crisis of anybody in the world, and I will go up against anybody in the world. You don't have to be someone who claims to have predicted it. You can be some chump who knows other people, knows their track record, has read whatever they have, and you can challenge me for $50,000 on that. I have held this for about 12 years now. Nobody's ever come up. You're going to challenge me, 50 grand. And if you want more, we'll do more. We'll do more. Don't use it to, oh, it's only 50 grand. No, you want more, we'll do more. I'm lowering the bar for the chumps to get involved. We put the money in escrow at a law firm, and we get qualified individuals to do the assessment. Okay. Since the financial crisis, I claim to have held and continue to the most accurate investment forecasting and analysis track record in the world. I am, as far as I know, the single best investment analyst in the world. Let me just kind of give you, and I'm going to close this up here in a second. I was recommending in my research, the very first research report that I came out with in 2009, NVIDIA was the number one stock that I mentioned for long-term growth. A list of three. NVIDIA, Whole Foods, which was bought by Amazon, and then United Health. Okay? I never came out with a list since that time. NVIDIA was on the list every year, every month, every year through current March 2024. Okay? Wrote a book, Wall Street Investment Bible, 2008, where I presented a case study. I predicted many bankruptcies that would eventually happen. Circuit City, Pier 1, many others. And I also wrote a case study about Blockbuster versus Netflix. And I basically predicted Blockbuster would go bankrupt. I recommended shorting it in that book and going long Netflix. I've been bullish, recommending Netflix ever since that time. And at the time, it was about split adjusted. It was less than $3 per share. NVIDIA at the time was also less than $3 per share. Okay, those are just a couple of things right there. Okay, so the bottom line, whether you want to debate whether I'm the top analyst in the world or not, I predicted the 2008 financial crisis, and I did it in 2 books. Show me somebody else who predicted the financial crisis in books in 2008, who recommended, who showed you and told you when to start shorting these mortgage stocks. I didn't tell you to start shorting them right then. I explained when you should start shorting those stocks. Okay? I provided a tutorial for those who wanted to take a more defensive posture, to buy puts. Now, those stocks, also the home builders, the banks I recommended, and General Electric and GM. I think the worst performing of all of those that I recommended to short was a decline of about 84%. Almost all of them went to 0 or 1 or down 98 or 99%. Okay, that's right. That's fact. So that's who I am. Once again, I worked on Wall Street. I've been running my own investment research firm. I'm semi-retired now. I've been semi-retired for a few years. I'm just kind of continuing operations to help people who continue to want my research, long-term clients. But I've been running my own research firm for the better part of 2 decades. Okay? Now, I don't like talking about myself. And I've only posted things on my bio on my website recently because I exposed the whole YouTube fake investment guru scene back in 2022. And in backlash, I got a lot of people making up lies, defamation, character assessment, ad hominem, so on and so forth. Okay? I don't like talking about myself and my accomplishments because there's many things I've also done that I don't never talk about. But I'm telling you once again, because it's important for you to know who you're listening to. Whenever you listen to somebody, you shouldn't just, and the tendency today is for people to basically trust and believe and listen to ideas, narratives, people who they keep hearing about. The more that's repeated, the more people think it's legitimate, it's valid. It's not true, folks. Not true. In fact, it's the opposite. Generally speaking, it's the opposite. Why? Because most of the trash is flooded out there. Most of the scams and scam artists are flooded out there. What you need to do, instead of validating something based upon hearing it over and over again, is you need to first look at the source. Look closely at that person. If that person is giving you investment analysis, are they qualified? Are they credible? Are they experienced? What's their track record? Right? What's their agenda? You understand? Meet Kevin just recently got licensed, and I'm not quite sure how he has his license given the fact that he was arrested for DUI. I don't know, maybe he paid some attorney to get him off. But if you got a DUI in your record, you're in deep trouble in the securities industry. Now, he's state licensed. Remember that. He's not a Series 7. I'm sure he's going to get a Series 7 to make him seem like he's legitimate. Folks, this guy is a fake it till you make it. He's a fake it till you make it scam artist. He's lied endless number of times. He's a pathological liar. He's created this perception that he's a wealthy, successful investor. And he's created this fake perception in order to sell people his courses and his other scams. That's fraud. Kevin, you're a fraudster. You're a liar. You lied about when you bought and sold stocks. You've even posted things on your YouTube channel, which even today, idiots believe. They believe if you post, if you show people your bank account on YouTube, they believe it's true. No? You don't think that can be manipulated? Folks, write this down as a rule. Let me just tell you right now. Anybody who comes out and wants to tell you how wealthy they are, look at my money, look at my bank account, it's $20 million. Anyone who's doing that is a scam artist. write it down. And chances are extremely high they don't have that money. That's what scammers do. They're trying to convince you that they're wealthy, and therefore, because they're wealthy, they know how to get wealthy, and they're going to show you how to. Let me explain something. Not only is that a golden rule to always remember, but also let me explain something even more important. Just because someone's wealthy does not mean they know how to become wealthy. There's no playbook. It doesn't exist. That's a fraud. It's a lie. It doesn't exist. These people are scammers. If you know how to make a lot of money and you're really wealthy, what are you doing spending your time making stupid videos on YouTube for kids? If you are really a great investment genius and business genius and you know how to make all these millions, well, why aren't you spending your time doing power deals instead of being a predator towards all these people, getting the money from them? Because the fact is, folks, guys like me, Kevin, that's how they make their money. They make their money off this false pretense. Fake it till you make it. Kevin Pathrath. Once again, my name is Mike Stathis. Now, not only am I a world-class investment analyst, I'm also perhaps, arguably, and I don't know who even does this in the world, the number one detector of fraudsters in the world. Now, I suppose there's different variants of that, but in terms of people in the financial media, YouTube, I guess you could consider financial media, I'm the number one guy. I have exposed the big guys. So, I mean, for me to expose chumps like Meet Kevin and Tom Nash, of course I exposed Tom Nash as an absolute liar and fraudster long ago. Graham Stephan as well, many others. For me to expose these guys, I can do it drunk. It's too easy. Why? Because I exposed the whole spiel that Peter Schiff uses. I've got this guy's number. You can tell him I said so. He knows who I am. One of the worst track records out there. He cons people. All these guys. I exposed Harry Dent, Jim Rogers, Mark Faber, all these guys. You name it. The Nigerian knuckleheads. So it's pretty easy to expose the low-level scammers on YouTube. And speaking of Peter Schiff, you'll notice that Kevin is in that circle. He's buddies with Peter Schiff. Kevin follows Robert Kiyosaki on Twitter. That's right. Folks, guys like Kevin, this young generation, and I warned about this 10 years ago. I warned the main problem with guys like Tony Robbins and Robert Kiyosaki is that they're creating these young generations of scammers. And that's why these kids don't even realize what they're doing is scamming. They don't think it's scamming. Oh, they're just, it's just marketing. No, it's marketing fraud. Every person on YouTube that's posting affiliate links without an appropriate FTC disclaimer is committing fraud. They're breaking federal law. Scammers. Now, getting back to Kevin. He's the biggest scam artist in the world under 35, in my opinion. This guy's dangerous. People should create groups somewhere, post evidence, post things to prepare to file a lawsuit. They should sue this guy. I'll certainly serve as an expert witness. By the way, Kevin is another failed real estate agent. That's right, failed real estate agent. Of course, he's going to tell you he's successful. If you're a successful real estate agent, you don't go on YouTube and abandon your career in real estate. He'll say, well, no, I have House Hack. House Hack is probably a scam. Why? Because it's run by him. This guy is a scammer. He's a liar. He's a fraudster. He's a con man. I haven't even begun. Maybe if I get pissed off, maybe I'll fucking go to the regulators. If there's anybody who knows how to get somebody in trouble in the securities industry, well, I'm certainly high on that list. Look at all these guys on YouTube, folks. Their background. Graham Stephan, another failed real estate agent. I told the story about Graham Stephan. Graham Stephan basically was cast aside when this Oppenheim, notice the name, they have a real estate company that I looked into, and it looks like a fake company. Now, I'm sure legally it's okay, but it looked like it was a kind of window dressed. It looked like, they made it kind of more than what it was. Why? And I looked into it. Oh, because they got a Netflix reality TV show. And I looked into the company, and it's almost like not even operating. I call there, and there's like no one to answer the phone. It goes directly voicemail to one of these Oppenheim guys. And he supposedly has all these real estate agents. That's a whole other story. The bottom line is, when they did this stupid reality show, which they're all fake. Reality TV shows, it's all a scam. It's fake. It's all fake. It's all lies. You all should know that by now from the Storage War lawsuit. Apparently, Graham Stephan didn't cut the mustard. Graham Stephan's not exactly, let's just say he's not exactly high, doesn't have high physical stature. Let's just put it mildly. And then you look at the reality TV show, they have these little glitz and glamour people. He didn't make it. He can't be on the show. So apparently they didn't let him on the show, so he went to YouTube. That's right. You're hearing this for the first time. I've known this for like 5 years. Let's say maybe 4. I've still got a file on this. And so he started talking about how, I'm a successful real estate agent. And he starts selling his real estate courses. And then he starts doing all this bullshit. Then he partners up with these scam agencies who are basically telling him what to say. They give him a script. You all know this, right, folks? Graham Stephan reads scripts. Just like this Andre Jick, his little twin Andre Jick. They're given a script by these agencies. I think it's agencies like, take a look at the people behind the agency. Take a look at the last names. Interesting how high percentage of scammers from the same little clique, same little cabal. What's going on? I could go on and on, but I can't say it. This goes on ScamTube, because ScamTube will allow anything. They'll allow you to promote prostitution, illegal prostitution, illegal. They'll allow you to promote videos which facilitate and incite pedophilia, pornography, scams, but you can't talk about who runs things. That's hate speech. That should tell you what's going on, folks. It should tell you who really runs the show. It's a mafia out there. It's a mafia. Now, interestingly, if you look at Kevin and Graham Stephan and Tom Nash and all these other fake investment gurus, guess what? They're in that mafia. That's right. Now, getting back to these agencies, they give scripts to these guys. They're basically, Graham Stephan, Andre Jick, and others, they're just basically reading a script, memorizing a script, reading it off a teleprompter. And, of course, if you could, I would pay to get a hold of one of these videos pre-edited. They edit the hell out of the videos, okay? It's a bunch of nonsense. And by the way, many of these scripts that I've seen are the result of plagiarism. Plagiarism, which is illegal. That's right. Basically, the scripts come from published material, from online sources. I've seen it. And they don't attribute anything. They just basically make it like it's their own. But anyway, so Graham Stephan promoted himself as a real estate guru. After he didn't tell the truth. He didn't tell the reason why he was no longer really in real estate. You see? He got the axe. And then he soon found out he could make more money just promoting illegally affiliate links without disclosing the FTC proper affiliate link disclosure. And then the crypto scam heated up. He began endorsing cryptos. Same thing. Now, I've made a video, by the way. Shocker. So, I don't know, the video is almost 2 years old now, maybe a year and a half. Showing Graham Stephan actually removed his cryptocurrency endorsements and promotions from his videos. He clipped them out after FTX blew up. Now, of course, you all know Kevin was selling, this is the amazing thing, back to Kevin, he was selling unregistered securities. He was being paid to promote a Ponzi scheme, a cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme, FTX. How is he even able to be registered as a state investment advisor? I don't know. Someone might want to contact the state, I guess California, where he's registered, and ask that question. Graham Stephan, of course, was doing the same thing. All these guys, Tom Nash, all these fake investment gurus, just about. Anyway, I guess the con men at Everything Money weren't doing that, but they're just as bad. They're fake investment gurus. They're complete scam artists. I'll get to them in the future. Paul Gabriel, you're a scam artist. You're lying to people. You're deceiving people. You're an investment disaster. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Stop scamming people with your bullshit garbage. You don't know what you're talking about. Your stock analysis software is a complete scam. So Kevin, of course, was named in a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit, along with Graham Stephan, Tom Nash, several other of these fake investment gurus who sold unregistered securities. That's a problem. You're breaking securities laws. And they were paid to promote a cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme. They were sued. Kevin settled with, and I've mentioned this before, mentioned this recently, that the law firm who's been going after these influencers from the cryptocurrencies, I think it's Moskowitz in Miami, they're lightweights. They're fucking lightweights. I know, I've spoken with them. They're lightweights. They just want to get people to settle. That's all. And if they had half a brain at least, they would have realized Kevin had a lot to lose, and they could have basically bankrupted this guy. So you got this guy, fake investment guru. He promoted FTX Ponzi scheme. He was a paid whore to get people to promote this Ponzi scheme. He's lied about so many stocks. He's given terrible advice. He claims that he sold at the top. No, you didn't. Kevin, you're a liar and you're a fraud. And I challenge you to prove to me about 3-4 years ago all these claims you made about your finances. You can't prove it because you're lying. You're a liar. You're a fake it till you make it con man, just like Tony Robbins, your mentor. Anybody that trusts this guy, anybody that watches his videos, you watch his videos. Oh, I just watched to laugh. No, you're supporting him. He's making ad revenue from that. He's getting viewers. He's increasing in the algorithm. What you should be doing is making videos exposing this guy. And anybody on YouTube who covers things in the financial genre who's not exposing this guy on a regular basis, and I'm talking at least once a week, you could write it down. They're not on your side. They're dishonest scammers. If people aren't going after this guy and really nailing it down like I am, don't trust them. They're just trying to get views. Okay? And most importantly, if these people who claim to be going after the scammers, if they're monetizing their channel, if they're selling ads, they're hypocrites. They're fakes. They're scammers. Think about it. You got the biggest phony out there, phony detective, CoffeeZilla. He's protecting these guys. Have you ever seen him make a video exposing Meet Kevin? No. How about Tom Nash? Well, in fact, he promoted Tom Nash. Tom Nash is a liar and a scammer. He knows jack diddly-do about investments. Write that down. He didn't even know what the CPI stood for. Tom Nash is a fraud. Tom Nash was promoted by CoffeeZilla. CoffeeZilla built Tom Nash's channel. Think about that. You got a guy, CoffeeZilla, who's never exposed anything in his life, by the way. Don't believe the bullshit. Remember who I am, okay? I called out cryptocurrencies as a scam from day one. All cryptocurrencies are a scam. Therefore, if somebody is creating like Ponzi schemes or whatever out of a cryptocurrency, which is a scam, it doesn't matter. Anybody involved with cryptocurrencies in terms of offering them, running exchanges, they're all scammers because they're supporting a criminal network that's backed by nothing, that supports illicit activities. It's an avenue for drug trafficking, terroristic activities, human sex trafficking, not to mention the ransomware scam. Cryptocurrencies is fueling ransomware. How come no one's telling you that cryptocurrency is a scam? The whole thing's a scam. So you got this guy, CoffeeZilla, who claims, oh, well, he's a scammer. He never uncovered anything. Everybody was already uncovered before. But why doesn't CoffeeZilla tell you that cryptocurrency, the whole industry is a scam? The whole premise is a scam. The reason why is because who do you think watches his stupid channel? People who lost money on cryptocurrencies. You see, he can't make money if he exposes cryptocurrencies as a scam. CoffeeZilla is a scam. He's a fraud. He monetizes videos. If you watch his videos, you're going to see advertisements for scammers. Hey, Coffee Boy, how can you claim to go after scammers, to expose scammers, when you're selling advertisements for scammers? You're a business partner with scammers. You have a financial interest. You're a business partner with scammers. You're sharing money with YouTube, with Google, that scammers are paying. You're in business with them. That makes you a scammer. Everybody on YouTube who's monetizing their videos, and I can tell you right now, easily 80% of the ads on YouTube are scams or fraudulent or in some way, shape, or form dishonest. And I would have to say most likely more than 95%. We're talking scam city. So all these YouTube creators, they know this. They don't care. They want the money. They don't care that you're going to get hurt watching those ads. They don't care. Have you ever seen a YouTube person, a YouTube creator say, hey, listen, there's going to be ads on my channel? I'm not talking about writing a description. Start out the video saying, all the ads on my channel are scams. Ignore them. They want the money, folks. They're not on your side. You're the product. You understand? You're the product. They're selling you. They're selling you to advertisers. It's just like Facebook. These are the same people on Facebook, that use Facebook. They don't realize they're getting scammed. It's free. Yeah, okay, it's free. Yeah, free to screw you. So I could go on and on and on about all the circle jerk of these guys. The circle jerk, Kevin, Tom Nash, Graham Stephan, many of these other guys. And then you've got other circle jerks. You've got, and CoffeeZilla, what happened was he got escalated when he got a lot more subscribers when this con man, Lex Fridman, I guess his name is, promoted him. You're doing great work. You're exposing this. You're doing. And the reason why I believe this Lex Fridman interviewed this guy was because he wanted to be protected from being exposed. Because if you look into this Fridman guy, he promotes himself. It's a lot of hyperbole, and he positions himself where he doesn't belong, as if he's someone important at MIT, and he's not. He's a fucking technician. He's a lab boy. He's a grunt. And this, I'm gonna go into this in the future, but this Friedman guy, he's a fraudster because he promoted the self-driving narrative, the self-driving hoax several years ago, and he did it to get in good graces with Elon Musk, which he did. And doing that, he was in the circle jerk with Joe Rogan. I think he got into Joe Rogan circle jerk first. You see, it's a big circle jerk, folks. These guys are scammers. Joe Rogan is a huge scammer. He promotes 95% of who he promotes, by the way. You can see who he interviews. They're in that little cabal, by the way. Interesting. Of course, Joe Rogan is in that cabal. By the way, Elon Musk, yep, got it. Obviously, Lex Fridman, yep. Now, you can choose to not, if you don't know what's going on, you can discount this stuff. It's all true. It's fact. Joe Rogan's a fraud. He's a scammer. He's a gatekeeper. He's the new Alex Jones. And, of course, he peddles this nutritional bullshit. Anybody peddling nutritional stuff, and they're kind of in the media that way, peddling, they're a scammer. The nutritional supplements industry is one big scam. Now, some of you are going to say, in order to refute what I'm saying, you say everything's a scam. That's called generalization fallacy, That's not logic. I don't say everything is a scam. I'm telling you what the scams are. If you want to refute that, take each one by one, and refute it. That's what you do. And I haven't even begun to go into the detail of all this stuff. And remember, by the way, I've got an extensive biosciences background. I've known about the whole nutritional supplements industry being a scam for a long time. Basically, you're talking about overpriced dog shit that acts as a placebo in the best of cases. And I'm not saying 100%. There are obviously some benefits to some things, but we're talking the most basic things, like vitamin C, okay? Which, in reality, it's much better if you ingest it naturally, okay, through citrus fruits. Anything that's processed in a lab has a potential risk of danger, toxicity. So the best case scenario you're talking about, aside from a few rare examples of clear benefit, folks, if you're eating normally, you don't need supplements unless maybe you're an infant or you're very old and you have, certain. But most people, the vast majority, aside from all that, we're talking also about toxicity. Many of these things are made in labs in China and other places where there's no regulatory standards, and you're talking about a lot of toxicity. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Joe Rogan's a scam. Do I need to say anything about Elon Musk? Lex Fridman promoted this self-driving hoax. Elon Musk should be facing criminal actions. He should be in court, just like the guy from Nikola, for making all these false claims. So you got this big circle jerk. And it's interesting because Patrick Bet-David, also in the cabal, he's recently kind of made his way into the circle jerk. The Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, circle jerk. Kathy Wood, circle jerk. Folks, if people aren't talking about this, it's pretty obvious. If they're not talking about this on ScamTube, they're not on your side. They don't want to talk about this. They don't want to alienate people. They want to make money scamming you, taking advantage of you. Kathy Wood is not only an investment idiot, she's a con artist. She's a liar and a con artist. She's a fraud. Kathy Wood, you're a fraud. I've already exposed her. I mean, folks, when you're talking about somebody, myself, for 20 years have exposed the guy, Jim Cramer and all these other guys. Exposing these it's too easy. It's obvious. I know the playbook. And I've got all the videos and articles exposing all these people for the past nearly 2 decades on my site. So now, it's been long. Most of you probably dropped off by now. That's okay. I don't care. Those who stuck around are the ones who are interested to hear what's going on, and you're going to learn. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to actually end this and continue with part 2. Now that I've given you kind of the backstory, I'm going to go ahead and focus on Kevin.